Greetings, citizens. Justiguy has arrived and returned to the 100-line Last Defense Academy. Last time we were pursued. No, we pursued an assailant. But they got away, and now we are mysteriously in our room. Again. ... Uh-huh. My consciousness slowly but surely drifted back from the dark depths it had fallen into. I opened my eyes and found myself looking up at a familiar ceiling. It's my room. I remember now. Last night, Hideko was attacked by someone in a weird suit in the biolab. This will definitely not sound suspicious when we find Hideko's dead body in 10 minutes, right? I chased after the attacker, but I lost them, and then I blacked out. Wait a minute, if I passed out, how did I get back here? I don't remember a thing. Did someone carry me here? And come to think of it, Hideko, is she okay? Did anyone else get attacked? I reflexively sprang out of bed, but then, ow! The moment I tried to move, a sharp pain shot through my entire body. I guess I did push myself pretty hard last night. I even jumped out of a second-story floor window. I don't think I broke any bones, but it still hurts. Looking in the mirror, I was covered in cuts and bruises. It was no wonder her moving around hurt so much. Even so, I couldn't just stay put and recuperate. There were too many questions that needed answering. I fought through the pain and made my way to the cafeteria. Arriving in the cafeteria, I did a quick head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 13, and that makes 14. We're all here. Even Hideko, the one I've been the most worried about, looked fine. Seeing them all there eating breakfast like nothing was wrong, I heaved a sigh of relief. Thank goodness everyone's okay. Morning, Takumi. What's the matter? Y'all look out of breath. Wait, don't you guys know what happened last night? Didn't Hideko tell you? Huh? Something happened last night. Did they really not know? How could they not have noticed all the running around and glass breaking? Moko, can you get everyone together for me when breakfast is over? You seem real serious about this. All right, leave it to me. In the meantime, Shogun, you should eat too. Try to relax a little, okay, hon? Sure, thank you. I left the rest of Moko and tried not to panic as I wolfed down some food. A little later, everyone gathered around a table at Moko's prompting. Is this going to take long? I think I'm heading for a sugar crush. That's what you get for putting a ton of chocolate and ice cream on top of your donburi. You wanted to talk to us about something, Takumi? Yeah, it's about last night. Where is Hideko? Hideko is gone. I got right into it and began to explain what happened, but something wasn't right. Hey, where's Hideko? Wasn't she here a moment ago? Oh yeah, she said she wasn't feeling well, so she went back to her room. Huh? Being around a disgusting tardigrade like me probably made her queasy. That could be a problem. Without her, I can't... What? Did you get your bored of harassing Nezumi and find another girl to set your grubby little hands on? How many innocent maidens will you craft before you're satisfied? How indecent and yet how intriguing! I demand you tell me more! What are you guys talking about? Anyway, that's not the point. And I'd prefer to have Hideko around so she can back up my story, but I can't exactly go to drag her back here. There's nothing I can do about it. I'll just have to do the best I can on my own, and definitely won't be contradicted by her later. That's how these things go. All right, it's a long story, but here goes. I recounted the events of the previous night so far as my memory would them allow. Naturally, I started with the strange figure who attacked Hideko with a power saw. From there, I talked about how we both jumped out of the biolab window, me chasing the attacker after they lost their weapon, only for me to lose sight of them. The others listened, didn't open their mouth amazement. They probably didn't know whether to believe me or write the whole thing off as a fever dream. That just about covers it. Are you serious? That all happened last night? Hold on, I need a minute to take all this in. My brain kind of short-circuited after you brought in the maniac with a power saw. I don't get what's going on either. That's why I wanted Hideko here, so she could fill us in. Damn, how the hell did none of us rest of us realize how that was going down? The biolab's walls have surprisingly good soundproofing. Why do you know that? For some reason. You did a good job making it through this ordeal alive, Mr. Sumino. Yeah, you're a total chump, Takumi. It's kind of scary, though. Just imagine what might have happened to Hideko if you hadn't been there. Even if this maniac had made mincemeat out of her, we could have just fed it into the Rivomatic and bring her back. Don't talk about her like she's sausage filling. Besides, there's a limit on what the machine is there. I guess there kind of is. But what were you doing in the biolab at that hour, Takumi? How can you not remember? I can only assume you were drugged or sleepwalking. If you're not making all this up, that is. What, you think I'm the one who attacked Hideko? I'm just speaking hypothetically. Honestly, I don't see how attacking our teammates would benefit you, so I'm not entertaining the idea too seriously. We won't be able to say anything for sure until we get Hideko's side of the story. Maybe it was some kind of shape-shifting enemy? I mean, there's no one else in the school apart from us. Nah, the alarm would have gone off if that was it. The invaders always show up in huge swarms, not one at a time. Does that mean the attacker was one of us, among us? No, that can't be. But we've already been getting threats. What if even more freaky stuff starts happening after this? Just like that, the whole room seemed to frost over. Everybody looked uneasy. Hold on a minute. I didn't mean to make it sound like that. But now the possibility's out there, you can't deny it. Not unless we all have a solid alibi, or we catch the real maniac. So there really is a traitor among us? There is always only one truth, which means, who was it exactly? This isn't good. At this rate, everyone's going to start getting paranoid. What can I say to calm them down? But before I could think of anything, Takumi? Takumi, who'd been silent throughout the conversation, suddenly began to tremble all over. Uh-oh. Yo ho ho ho!
We're finally getting dragged into a killing game! Ah!
There's a murderer in our midst, a notorious serial killer. This is the kind of twist I've been waiting for. Yo ho 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 ho! It was like a dam suddenly burst. Takumi's deranged laughter filled the room. A serial killer hiding in a group of students? Only someone with a severely unsound mind would come up with something like that. Threatening messages, serial killers, power saw maniacs. I can't take this. This is so cool. Let's go crazy and start killing each other. Maybe we should let Miss Amamiya handle the killer. You know, fight fire with fire, or in this case, maniac with maniac. If we need a sacrifice, I'll volunteer, but I might be so useless that even the killer won't waste time on me. So we're just assuming all this stuff about a killer is true now? I can't keep up. Guys, please, let's not get paranoid, but from now on, if you have to walk around alone at night, be careful. Might be a good idea to keep our infusers with us too. Then we'll be ready to fight back if a killer tries it. Why weren't you doing that already? I'm gonna go see what I can do about fixing the biolab window. It'll be a good chance to investigate the scene too. Thanks. Sorry for the trouble, person who we should not be trusting. I'll go see how Hiroko's doing. I'll let you guys know if I find out anything new. Everyone noted an agreement and the meeting broke up. First of all, I need to talk to Hiroko. She said she's not feeling well, but hopefully it's nothing serious. Just as I was about to leave the cafeteria. Huh? Takumi, you're still here. Seems like that diary was the real deal after all, huh? Don't worry, Takumi. I won't say a thing. It's our little secret. Yo ho ho ho. Laughing creepily to herself, Takumi skipped out of the cafeteria. I hadn't mentioned that old diary to anyone either. It wasn't exactly a credible source, and I didn't want to risk making everyone even more paranoid. Anyway, I really need to go talk to Hiroko. Pulled myself together and made my way to the dorm rooms on the roof. Nope. Huh? No good, huh? I rang Hiroko's doorbell, but there was no reply. It didn't sound like anyone was moving around inside either. I was reaching toward the bell to ring again, but thought better of it, you dumbass. She's probably sleeping. I'd feel bad for disturbing her. After the events of last night, I was still pretty worried, but I decided to leave Hiroko be for now. I'll ask her later. I've still got plenty to do in the meantime. Reluctantly, I turned away and left to attend to other matters. I already knew where my next stop was going to be. We're investigating. This is where I chased the killer around last night. At the time, it had been too dark to make out very much, but I had a general idea of where to go. I mean, it would be like bio room window, you know? I began to rummage around in the grass and shrubs, searching for something I'd left behind last night. It took me a while, but I eventually found it. Here it is! This was what I'd been looking for, the power saw I'd taken from the killer and thrown into the bushes during our chase. I can't just leave this lying around here. I'd better put it somewhere safe. Oh, you dumb bastard. Hefting up the power saw, I carried it back to the school, and surely I'm going to tell someone I'm doing this. I'm not just going to let myself have this incriminating evidence. Okay, it should be good here for now. The metal shop seemed like a good a hiding place as any. It was already full of guns and landmines and other lethal-looking objects. I set the power saw down in a corner of the room and stared at it for a moment. Up close, those blades look even bigger and more deadly. I'm glad I didn't get hit. Whoever that had been brandishing this at me and Hiroko, they were definitely out to kill us. But why? What motive could they have possibly had? I should probably go over the whole incident. I'll tell the others I've stashed the power saw in here next time we're all together. Closing the metal door behind me, I left and went back to my room. Okay, maybe do that now. Maybe do that now. You dumb bastard, maybe do that now. Back in my room, I collapsed onto my bed, exhausted. Looking at the clock, I realized half the day was gone already. I knew I ought to be using this downtime wisely to prepare for our next battle. But I just couldn't motivate myself to do any of that today. I still have 3 major mysteries to solve. The first is what had happened last night. What was I doing in the biolab with no memory of how I got there? How was Hiroko being attacked? The second was the person in the strange black suit. I had no idea who they were, what they were doing here, or why. And the third, my gaze slowly traveled to the desk. I hadn't looked at the strange diary again since putting it away. It couldn't be. Could it? I got up from my bed, opened the desk drawer, and took out the old notebook. This thing still creeps me out. What kind of deranged person had written these illegible words and scribbled this picture of the killer? Looking at it gave me a weird, sickly feeling inside, like I was being drawn into the madness on the page.
That was the signal that the killing game is about to begin. And now we're all going to die, 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 die.
Natomi's crazed words welled up in the back of my mind. Are the threatening messages in this diary really connected somehow? I wanted to dismiss it all as a meaningless series of pranks, but I still had doubts I couldn't quite dismiss. Those seeds of suspicion were starting to grow, threatening to choke me from the inside. Day 18. Oh. I woke up to the usual morning announcement and slowly got out of bed. I didn't get a chance to talk to Hiroko yesterday. I'll have to track her down today at some point, but first I should go to the cafeteria. I need to tell everyone about the power saw. Okay, good. Everyone was already there. Everyone except Hiroko. I waited and waited, but she didn't show. In the end, I told the rest of the team that I'd stashed the power saw in the metal shop for now and left. Okay, good. Open, explanation. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Transparent. Oh, I just unplugged my mic by accident. Not my mic. Maybe my mic. Definitely my camera, but it's back. Okay, good. Well, I feel a little calmer in here. It makes me feel of true love. I needed a change of scenery and found myself visiting the leisure lounge. There's no one here. That's too bad. I was in the mood to talk to someone. I wasn't really sure what to do, so I sat on the chair by the side of the pool and gazed at the water for a while. Gotta do things totally abnormal to make sure I don't have an alibi. Suddenly, I got an unpleasant, twisty feeling in my stomach. Why am I so hungry? I just ate a few minutes ago. What's going on with my stomach? My appetite seems to come and go a lot lately. I reached out for a bottle of water in hopes of quelling my hunger pangs, and as I did... Oh, Hiroko. A surprised, troubled expression caught her across her face. She must not have expected to find me here. I thought I'd finally get to talk to her, but as soon as she saw me, she turned around and began walking away. Hey, wait! I ran after Hiroko and grabbed her, wrapping a hand around one of her long, slender arms. Let me go. Sorry, but I can't right now. I need to talk to you, Hiroko. I have nothing to say to you. Hiroko looked away, refusing to meet my eye. She was acting so strange and I had no idea why. Are you feeling better? I heard you were sick yesterday. Anyway, I wanted to talk about a few nights ago when you were attacked in the biolab. You remember that person with the power saw, right? Where did they come from? What happened that night? Can you let go of me now? You're going to leave a mark. Huh? Oh, sorry. I realized I'd been holding on to her really hard and let go, but I couldn't let her leave yet. I shifted around and blocked her path to the door. I've already told you. I have nothing to say to you. Stop wasting my time and move aside. Why are you acting like this? Is there some reason you can't tell me? Please, just leave me alone. Hiroko, what are you... Before I could say anything else, Hiroko shoved me aside, knocking me off balance. Oh my. Oh, ow. I fell on my butt with a painful thud. That girl really didn't want to talk to me. I got to my feet to go after her, but she was already gone. Hiroko, why? I had no idea what was going on with her. Why wouldn't she tell me what happened? Why was she avoiding me all of a sudden? This has to be for the players who have done the routes where she is like our what would you even call it? Our number 2, I guess? Yeah, assistant team leader. I didn't know, but one thing was clear. Hiroko was hiding something. I can't just give up. I need to find out the truth. I wouldn't get anything out of Hiroko the way she was now, but there was plenty of other stuff I could investigate. I decided to clear my mind by looking somewhere else. Okay? Moko it is. Why are you in here? What's gonna happen now? I can't feel good about any of this, brah. Hey, Takumi, want to hear more about my... I don't, but I think we've heard this before, so we can... yeah, we learned. Moko, spending time. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Free time. You're good. You two are good. Alrighty, to the room of the reckoning. Alright, yeah, that should be simple enough. I really should have looked at what the categories of his stuff were and searched for it, but I did not think of that. For I am dumb, stupid even.
Are you sure I can have this? Hell, you just turned me into mush.
I've missed hearing that line.
Hey, Takumi, you wanna come with me to our
Yes.
next meetup? I gotta introduce you to some of my pals. Don't be afraid, they're all good people. Just one thing, they're like
Oh, that's adorable.
morning people. Old folks tend to be early risers. You wanna know what the meetup's for? Working out to keep everyone healthy.
Love you.
What else? Our frenzy dance moves put the pros to shame. You gotta see it to believe it.
You're such a good guy, Takemaru. I want nothing to ever bad happen to you ever, except that time it totally destroyed me mentally.
Huh?
I didn't get to talk to Hiroko today either. There's still so much I don't know about that girl. I never really got to know her the first time around. Hopefully this time she'll open up to me and we'll all make it through this alive. No, not just hopefully. I'll definitely make that happen. That is my ninja way. Da-na-na. The obnoxious morning announcement played just like it always did, just like it always did. Knowing that that person who'd recorded those announcements was gone now, it made me feel a little uncanny though. What's the idea of making the 19th a milestone day anyway? All that good round number stuff made no sense. Wait, didn't I say that last time too? Shaking off the haze that lingered around my thoughts, I got out of bed. Speaking of the library, I've got some business there today. First, I better have breakfast. It's time to go to the cafeteria. Boom ba da boom ba dum ba dum. I stepped into the cafeteria to grab some food. For a second, my eyes met Hiroko's from across the room. Oh. Girl, what is your problem? There was a moment of silence, and then she turned away. She refused to even look in my direction after that. Sheesh, guess she's still avoiding me. Sighing inwardly, I turned my attention back to my food. When I was done, I made my way to the library.
Huh?
I thought we found it somewhere around here. I stood in front of the library stacks, not shelves. Okay, I guess stacks is kind of the right word in some situation. I don't know, I'm dumb. I am an uncultured fool, as it were. Thinking back to the day Darumi and I found the strange diary, I still don't completely buy that it has anything to do with what's going on here, but it was worth taking another look at what was here. There might be some kind of clue. And right now, I needed all the information I could get. I ran a finger along the spines of the books, then began pulling them out one by one. My movements got faster, more frantic. I kept going until I'd empty the entire shelf. How long did I spend doing that? I completely lost track of time in my desperate search. But eventually, I found something that made me stop and take notice. Oh, what's this? I lifted up a beaten-up old volume with a hard cover. It had caught my attention for a simple reason. There wasn't any writing on it. The front cover, back cover, and spine were all completely blank. I looked in the back to see if there were any publication info there. There was any publication info there, but the last few pages had rotted and crumbled away. Must be really old. I gently opened it to the title page to be greeted by the only text I'd seen so far. The History of the Skewer. The letters were faded and old-fashioned, but I could still read them okay. Come to think of it, aside from the basics, I actually knew remarkably little about this academy. With both Sirei and Ego gone, there wasn't anybody I could ask about it. It's not something I've thought about very much, but this isn't exactly a run-of-the-mill school. I turned the pages, getting a whiff of the musty paper smell that only really old books develop. There was no publication date anywhere, so I had no way of knowing how old it was exactly. I flicked through the pages at random until... Huh? I caught a glimpse of some troubling text. Did I see that right? Went back to the page in question, and sure enough, there it was. Notes on the serial murder incidents. Oh no! My heart skipped a beat. A trail of cold sweat ran down my back as I began to read the passage. It detailed a series of ghastly murders that took place at the academy sometime in the past. You know that's... Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Right now I'm like, sir, this is a spaceship. They started suddenly one day without any warning. A mysterious figure appeared in the school and started picking off the students one after another. Clad in a strange black suit, the killer uses bladed weapons like saws and hatchets to massacre their victims. Some students rallied together to try and fight back, but they were all mercilessly cut down. The next day, the academy was sealed off from the outside world. The students prepared to mourn the friends they had lost. But then the killer came back. Once again, they mowed down student after student, bathing the school in blood. Cries of pain, fear, and hatred echoed throughout the grounds as the students' short lives came to an abrupt, violent end. And then, just like before, the killer disappeared without a trace. No one knew how they got. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. When I read this line, and then, just like before, the killer disappeared without a trace. I imagined if you watch Kamen Rider Geats, and I don't know who's watching this series, where the overlap there is, but if you know exactly what track I'm thinking of. the kind of tinkling one that's like, whoa, this is so cool, you know that one. I'm sorry, really dumb. Anyway, no one knew how they got it to begin with, although some thought they may have passed themselves off as one of the surviving students. No one ever got a definitive answer, and the nightmare still wasn't over. Again and again, the killer would appear, seemingly out of nowhere, slaughter a handful of students, then disappear again. Naturally, there were attempts to fight back, but none of them achieved anything. It was as if they were dealing with an unkillable demon. Even now, the killer still stalks these halls, awaiting the time for another massacre. An unkillable demon? This has got to be made up, right? It just doesn't sound realistic, although I guess it's not the craziest thing in the world.
Hey, we're basically immortal too. It's not that weird.
I found myself thinking back to the strange diary again. Could it have been written by one of the students who survived these attacks? The information in the old book and the diary matched up a little too well for it to be a coincidence. But the part about the killer still hiding out somewhere in the school, that couldn't be true, could it? Would they have been the one who wrote the threatening message that started all this? No, wait. I shouldn't jump to conclusions. Let's see if there's anything else. I took a deep breath and went back to reading the school history. For the next few hours, I immersed myself in urban legends and reports of other strange incidents that had supposedly occurred in years long past. What was any of that? Will we find out any of it ourselves? Who knows? I don't yet. So until next time, well, I'm afraid this is going to have to be farewell. Ooh, spooky. I'm wiggling my fingers all spooky-like, but you can't see it. Ooh. I'm waving my hand in front of the camera to see if it'll do anything, but it doesn't. Ooh, farewell.